Hey friends, Mike Myers here with the Songwriting for Guitar podcast, episode number 55, Enjoy the Process. Now, what I'm about to say is it's either going to encourage you and wipe away the cobwebs and get your ass going and or you're going to realize something you haven't wanted to admit. And I don't know how many people I see drudging through the task of creating a music business. Oddly enough, many do music for the monetary gain. They just want the benefits. They want to reap the benefits of it. And of course, you can make money in music, but if that is your entire goal, it'll go from, quickly exciting and like, oh, this is amazing to suddenly, ugh. One of the secrets to my success, I truly enjoyed the process. That's it. It's interesting because where I am right now, I enjoy it. Where I was a year ago, I also enjoyed it. Some see being satisfied as the same as being complacent, and I'm not proposing that. I'm saying if you don't find some satisfaction of the process, your ultimate goal won't be reached only because you burn out before you could even complete the steps to get there. And that would be unnecessarily sad if this is truly what you want to do. At first, lots of musicians get into the business because they have a passion for it, but then they find out it looks a lot more like a business than they thought it would. And there's many, many things to figure out. And that is not a bad thing. It's just about the analyzing, tweaking, and figuring out the next steps. I've been privy to some lamenting about the industry. The drudgery is palpable. It makes me think you hate doing the things that are a huge part of the journey. To me, it's a huge red flag. Sure, there will be harder days and you won't be bouncing off the walls at times, but you can stay freaking curious. Oddly enough, you'll find yourself thinking, oh shit, that just blew up in my face. It means you tried, and that's a great sign. Instead of, hiding from it, you should be excited to pick up the pieces and find out what happened. Each time you fail at something, you're getting clues to the next step, and you're getting further along. Your failures are your own personal coach. If you keep getting further along, you'll see how to pick up the pieces from that thing you did before, and I think that's wonderful. Now, not everything is going to blow up, but things aren't going to work out perfectly, and that's the whole point of the process. It's not perfect. It doesn't look one certain way, but you can still have fun with where you are right now while you're figuring out how to get to the next step. It reminds me of that scene in The Office where everyone is watching the TV screen behind Michael as he's rambling on, giving a speech, and they're looking at that little image of the DVD logo bouncing back and forth on the screen, and they're just waiting for that moment where it lands perfectly in the corner. Now, that sounds like insanely boring, monotonous, but they're anticipating for that perfect moment where it finally hits. And then when it does, they get so amped up about it and they cheer and they're and it's one of my favorite scenes. They celebrate it for a few seconds and then it's over. And the beauty of that scene is seeing their excited energy while they're waiting for that one thing to happen. I think music is like that. It's about having the fun in between the wins. The process has to be enjoyed because after the payoff happens, it's a celebration and then more day-to-day work happens all over again. You have to enjoy the process, that period. If you don't even bother, pack up and find something else. Even if you reach your monetary goal and you get a lot of money, you're going to look back at your time, not with fondness, but you'll see it as a drudgery and the grind and hate it. But those who find enjoyment are making money. They're not concentrating on it. They're more excited about the craft and totally geeking out over something. Right now, I'm geeking out over a couple of things. One is that I'm looking over scores and I'm downloading sheet music to study, violin parts, viola parts, because I want to get into theatrical trailers. And I'm just geeking out over this whole process. I mean, it just intrigues me and I want to know more. When you stay curious, that's when you know you are absolutely on the right path. Now, this is the question. What part of music makes you geek out or light up? Or has the whole process gotten so boring, so monotonous that you can't think of anything? Well, I think, my friend, it's time to pack up if that's the case. If it's truly all gone, this is not the business for you. But if you're thinking, Mike, it's not that simple, okay, that's fine. We need to seriously get you back to enjoying it. Is that you maybe need to learn something new or find peers, mentors who are excited about you, that can help you on your craft. Maybe you're sitting at the computer for way too long and you're depriving yourself of actual breaks, going outside for fresh air. Maybe you've stopped challenging yourself in ways that light you up. This is the big thing. Maybe you need to cut yourself a break and be nicer to yourself. Change your way of thinking or change up your schedule. There's so much you can do to increase the enjoyment in this process and in your day-to-day routine, day-to-day life. Okay, so I want to give you 5 things that you can do right now to start finding that joy in the process again, to reignite that spark. So number 1, don't reach for perfection right away. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. Number 2, you got to be taking breaks throughout your day. It is a requirement. I personally write them into my schedule. Number 3, go see a show or listen to some music that inspires you. No matter what it is, whatever gets your fire going, you have to do that. Number 4, listen to something you love and try to recreate it. The best thing I've ever done was to find things that inspired me, then tried to dismantle and reassemble and understand why I enjoyed it. Number 5, recognize when you've done something challenging and celebrate it. We get so caught up at going full speed that we have some things that are working well and we're putting the time into it, but we don't stop to say like, hey, good job. I can't believe I did that. It wasn't easy, and no, it wasn't perfect, but I did it. There's so many other people right now that aren't doing it, so I'm moving in the right direction. It's a great thing that you're on this journey for whatever reason, but remember, you got to keep your joy. You're doing this for you, and I got to say this, and maybe you haven't heard this or told yourself this for a really long time. You are worth it. That does it for this week's episode. It was edited and produced by Chris Fafalius. I'm Mike Myers. Thanks for listening.